So here we are today doing a RA Designs electronic shift switches in a winter shifter. With our we'll call him a celebrity guest mechanic known as Baja Corona, or Aaron, we sometimes call him.
My assistant here.
He's brought his assistant who's going to do most of the work, or show him how it's done. He's going to show you how it goes. We'll put a link to his Instagram so you can see his cool Toyota build. His assistant wasn't cooperating, so
this will work better. This kit's pretty awesome. RA Designs made all these pieces where micro switches bolt on. This way, when you're shifting through your gears, it'll actually hit the micro switches, turning the two solenoids in our transmissions on and off, actually controlling the transmission. Without the switches, this would be almost completely useless. So
well, you get park and reverse and that was it, right?
Yeah,
without
much.
switches.
And then it would just drive like an automatic. So this will actually give us control to hold it in each gear as we want it to. So pretty simple install, just some basic tools. We'll take this right side off first. First one's going to be the overdrive switch. Next, we're going to install one of the two cams it comes with that these switches are actually going to ride on as you shift through this. They're nice and engraved, so it's pretty idiot-proof. R for right, L for left. They're recessed, so it sits right on there, real nice and easy for install. Alright, now that we're back together, kind of.
What's he doing?
Finally got one of 4. These little screws are kind of tricky to maneuver in there.
Take a quick break.
Yeah. Finally back in action. Couple delays, couple days later, but here we are. Yeah, let's throw this together. Got the right side done, so move on to the left. Got the can bolted in here and one of the micro switches. These ones you gotta kind of fish in there. As long as it goes together. Alright, so the second cam is in. You can see the different raised locations for the switches we're going to install next.
What are you fighting right now?
Just the two forward and aft mounting plates. Left switch on. These have 2 holes. It's kind of optional if you want to drill a second hole.
But in your truck, you never drilled the second hole and haven't had any issues?
No, I left it. Everything seemed pretty snug and hit the switches fine without moving them around, so I figured I'd deal with it later if something moved.
I mean, you've used yours pretty thoroughly for a year and had no issues, so.
0 problems.
Including a rollover.
This is true. Mild roll. I think the wiring's probably going to hit too, so we might have to pull them back through and route it differently.
So in the end, you have the backwards hole, the hole farthest back in the mounting, as a mounting hole.
Alright, there we have it. You can see first gear, both switches are engaged. This one might want to move back a little. There's some adjustment room with them. Both are engaged. That one released, and this one's still engaged for second. Move up to third, that one released. That one's still engaged actually, this one released. Neutral.
Well, overdrive is just off to the right though on third, right? So.
Yep, and that one, it's hard to see in there. It's actually, that's third.
Yeah, then that's overdrive.
That's overdrive right there. I thought I routed my wiring through there, but clearly that's not a good idea.
Just leave it on the outside. I'll find a home for it. We're technically done. So all it was the one solenoid wire was pinched up in the shifter with the wires. So everything's there.
Just start throwing stuff. Yeah, it would probably help. Alright, so the solenoid 1 wire, this wire ended up getting pinched up back in there behind the tag, so it looked like it was miswired to that other micro switch, but insulation error.
It happens.
It happens. One thing I didn't show you guys at the beginning was there's some hex screws that hold these plates in place that you have to take out to get the halves to split. That also, if I would have just done one at a time, might have kept it from falling apart 6 times.
Which probably was probably part of why yeah. If you leave them in, it probably would. You're right. It makes sense.
Yeah, I'll just put those in there, and that's pretty much it for now. When this goes in the vehicle for final assembly, we'll have to check the clearance. Once that cable goes into here, when you shift through, make sure it's not going to rub on those bolts. If it does a little, it's fine, but it is pretty tight, so you might grind those down a little. Other than that, you do have to adjust the play in the cable when it's hooked up to your crane to make sure it's hitting where you want it to as you shift through the gates. But we'll show another final assembly when it's all done. Finished up here, everything's together. Seems to hit all the switches when it needs to. Just has to get wired up to the truck. There's a couple differences. Chris's truck, since it's a manual, doesn't have the automatic ECU in the vehicle, so his is always going to be shifting into the gears wired directly to the solenoids. Mine's actually wired to a switch, so depending on how I have it set, I can either just put it on this overdrive switch and it's going to keep me in the regular automatic driving mode, not manual. Otherwise I can switch it over and it'll be controlling the solenoids individually and holding the gears when I want it to. So that's kind of neat as well. This kit also comes with a separate switch to control your torque converter, to lock and unlock that as well. I personally did not wire that up to my vehicle, but some people like to use that as another application as well.
And I'll have to put a switch in, because obviously my ECU won't control that either. So I'll put a switch in so that I can lock it if I wanted to. So, but I'll just wire right to the solenoid for that also. So the solenoids on the transmission, there's just 3 wires coming out of it. One's for lockup and then one for each of the shift solenoids.
Pretty simple.
All right, everybody. Thank you.
Thanks for watching.